Hello and welcome to Find Your Way to Financial Freedom. Our today's guest is Sadhana Sabharwal. Divorced and left with three young boys with no financial support from the father, Sadhana had nothing but determination to raise three children and put them through school debt-free. She managed to buy and sell over 30 properties using none of her own money while working full-time as a law clerk. She has successfully put her three boys through medical and business school debt-free, all thanks to her real estate investment. And now her goal is to teach others what she learned along the way. Sadhana, welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Sadhana, can you tell us about your background and your journey?
Oh my. It seems like such a long time ago. Well, I came to Canada from India when I was 14 years old. And my God, that was a long time ago. I don't even want to guess how many years ago. But yes, a long time ago. I got married at the age of 19. It was an arranged marriage. I had three boys before the age of 26. I was divorced at 34.
Wow.
And I've raised my kids on my own since then, and they've gone on. Two of them are in medicine now, and one is in management. So
Nice.
that's my, like, in a nutshell.
Nice. And when did you start investing in the real estate?
I would say about 12 years ago, because I think as I saw what happened was because when my ex-husband left, the what's it called? Their expenses were small. Like, their expenses were like, they were happy with $2, $5, just that kind of amount. Mom, can you give us this? But as they got older, I found that $5 or $2 wasn't going to do it. So they wanted $20 and $50 and $100. And I'm like, on a law clerk salary, this is impossible. So I started to look for other opportunities that could bring me in a monthly income or something extra per month, right?
Yeah.
So then I started out by doing second mortgages. So what I did was on my house, I got a line of credit on my house. At that time, the line of credit rates were about 6%. So I would borrow at 6% and then I would lend it out at anywhere from 12 to 14%. So that's how I was making that extra money. And then I brought that extra income home to kind of supplement my job.
Wow, you're smart. How did you even know to do that?
You know what happens? I feel the desire is this, like the desire or the need or the why, the want will get you to figure out things that you wouldn't think of otherwise. Because if the why is not there, let's say my kids didn't need me to bring in any more money, I probably wouldn't have even looked, right? But because I needed to have that extra money coming in, that's where I started to wonder, okay, what can I do and how can I bring some money in?
Perfect. You have to think out of the box.
Definitely.
Be creative. Yeah. So why did you choose real estate?
I think it's just that's what came into my realm, because I don't think I went looking for real estate. One of the clients came into my office because I'm a law clerk, as you know. So when she came in, she was renewing a mortgage for one of the properties that she owned. It was in Eastern Ontario. And then I looked at the mortgage payment and it was something like $350. I don't remember the exact numbers. And I looked at it, I was like, wait a second. Like, my car payment is more than that. How's that possible? And that's when I started to ask her questions, and she was kind enough to invite me to her house. And then she started a real estate club, and I became a regular member. And my information, or I would say my knowledge, grew from there. That's how I started out.
Did you start with a single family or multifamily? How did
I
you
just
start?
went all in. I just went all in because what happened was when I wanted to learn about real estate, it took me about 2 years that I was just literally learning. I did not buy anything for the first 2 years because I just thought I did not want to go out there. And for me, I didn't have the capacity to lose out on something, right? So for me, I wanted to be out there knowing that I know what I'm getting myself into. So, for instance, it took me, like I said, about 2 years to get my first property. And then because I was part of that club, there were other people who were bringing in knowledge. And some of the people had gone to see this small town in Northern Ontario. And we started looking at property there. And it just went. So I bought a single family home for like $5,000. It's a 2-bedroom bungalow. I bought a sixplex for $106,000. I bought duplexes. I bought a fourplex. So it just became that, oh, let me see what I can get with no money. That was the whole idea, because it was my whole thing in all of this was that I don't have a whole lot of money. So I don't want to get into something where I have to come up with 100% of the money, or the amount is so big. What if I don't get a mortgage? I'm a single mom. I mean, my income is $50,000. I can only get so much. My house has a mortgage. So all of those things played a role. So I would think for me, it was more like, okay, what can I do with the resources that I have? Let's start with that. That's how it all got started. So it wasn't like I bought single family home and then I went to a duplex and then I went to a sixplex and an eightplex. So it just kind of was a mishmash, and whatever deal I could make work with the limited resources that I had was what my focus was. And then of course you have to know your numbers as well.
And how did you finance those properties?
One of the first single family home that I bought was only $5,000. I think I put in a bid for like $5,123 or something. I bought it on a tax sale.
That was a asking price, 5,000.
So it was,
5,000.
yeah. But you know what the best part is, Dina?
What?
I still own that property, and that property rents for $790 a month.
How much is it worth right now?
I would say probably about 110, 120.
Wow.
Around there.
Imagine buying a property for $5,000.
Well, okay, so that one I bought on a tax sale. Okay. Then I bought a duplex for like $52,000. Then I bought a fourplex. Actually, this one was an estate sale. Oh my God, this is really funny. Because yesterday I was writing down all the properties that I have bought and sold. And I counted, I've bought all together 22 properties. I've sold 14. And I'm about to sell one next week. That's on the chopping block. But I bought a fourplex. Obviously, it needed work and stuff. So don't go by that. Like, of course. And I bought it for like $18,000.
Wow.
So you have to be
Wow.
out. And you know what? One of the main things I always tell everybody, and you know, even when I do Facebook posts and stuff, people will say, "Oh, is that possible?" And I always want to say, and I know sometimes you have to be politically correct. Anything is possible that you believe is possible.
Now, you said you were buying these properties, at least initially, up in Northern Ontario.
Yes.
So as a landlord, you're a long way away from your properties.
Property manager.
So, okay, so because there's not always property managers in those more small towns. So these must be larger towns?
Its population's about 100,000. But what we did was, instead of going searching, the property manager, the realtor I was working with, I got him converted part-time into a property manager. And I mean, now he actually works for one of the biggest property firms out there in the city. And all of my properties have gone there now.
Okay.
So, yeah. So property management, you know what, as long as you figure out that the numbers make sense and you could put those numbers into your equation, there is no need to worry about. And I mean, in my course that I'm doing, actually teach you how to analyze. I'm not sure if Fanny has put it out there. I've created an online course on how to buy property, no money down.
Yeah, I didn't put it yet because I wanted you to do it.
Sorry that I jumped the gun.
Yeah. All right. What tips can you give to someone who wants to start investing in real estate?
First and foremost, believe it's possible. Honestly, I hear that from so many people. Oh, you did it because of this. No, I'm no more special than anybody else. I am just a regular person who had to figure out ways to raise my 3 boys. I didn't have any financial help from my ex. So that was out of the picture. And I know some people are like, oh, where was he? And I'm like, I choose not to focus on that. My focus is, how can I make my kids' education an easier experience for my children? What difference does it make where the father is? I don't want to work. I don't want to work on that premise that somebody has to support me in order for me to raise my children.
So besides no, oh, sorry, somebody said something.
I was just going to ask, so you are going to tell us how to look into this course that you're offering. Are you?
Yes. Yes, I will. It's actually, I've got a free training coming up next week on the 26th of November, and you can register at www.thenomoneydownacademy.com/register. Sorry, my throat is allergy season now.
Funny, can you put that on Facebook or?
No, Sadhana, can you put
to
on
us?
chat box? It's www. No Money Academy, right?
The No Money Down Academy.
Are you going to put it on a chat box?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, perfect. It'll be easier. When is your free event?
It is on 26th of November.
Oh, so next Thursday.
Next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock.
Oh, the same time. Yeah.
No money down.
I hope I spelled it correctly, because I know with my glasses sometimes it's like, okay.
And no money down.
The No Money Down Academy.com/register.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you were talking about the tips you can give somebody who wants to start. You say first, yes, to believe that it's possible.
Yes. The second thing is, like the tips on buying. It's like, for me, what worked was that I was only focused on deals that I don't have to worry about raising capital a huge amount anyways at the beginning. So when I bought the $5,000 house, and Dina calls it $5,000. So yes, Dina, I will show you that as well. I'll send you a copy of my transfer.
Seriously.
And then I got my credit card from Home Depot, and that's what I used to renovate it and fix it and stuff. And then after it was done, I went to the bank and I got it appraised. They gave me 80%. It was more money than I had put in for my buying and for renovation. So I walked away with some money in my pocket. So now you can go and utilize that money again to whatever else you need to do. So there's different strategies for making your deals no money down. But you got to just focus. Like, you may have to look at, maybe, I think when I started buying, I must have looked at like 60 deals, like in 2 weeks time or 3 weeks time. And I was only focused on the ones that I could make no money down. I didn't care about how great a deal something was. For me, it was like, can I make it no money down? Is it going to give me positive cash flow? Those were my 2 requirements. And if it was going to give me positive cash flow and I could work it somehow that I don't have to come up with a whole lot of money, I'm happy.
In which city where are you investing?
I've gotten so much. Oh my God. Okay, I started with one I live in Brampton. I've done Baysville. I've done Toronto. I've done Georgetown. I've done Sault Ste. Marie. I had almost done Niagara. No. What else? Burlington. That's about it. But they're all in Ontario. All of my stuff is in Ontario.
Guys, if you have a question, feel free to ask. Huh? If you have any question.
I want to know more about the no money down, because you're looking at a deal and it's $5,000. I wish I went out to about $5,000, but you still have to come up with the $5,000. No?
Yes. Yes. So, okay. Do you have?
So, were you looking for something that you can afford in terms of where you don't have to have a big amount of money, or like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, no money down to me comes off as I put zero.
Okay. So, no money down definitely means that there's no money of yours going in. Okay. Meaning you don't have to have the cash in your hand to go buy the property. That's what
right
down means, but it does not mean that you don't need the money to go buy the deal. Money still is required. It's just not my money, meaning I don't have to have the money in my bank. So if I have a line of credit on my house, because like I said, so my ex-husband, when he left, yes, he left me my house. Mind you, there was a mortgage on there. Mind you, that he had borrowed some money from my parents, which I paid off afterwards. I still had some credit card stuff that I took care of after, but I was able, like with my income at the time, I was only able to get like a $50,000 line of credit. But that's okay. Now that $5,000, I could have bought it on credit, and then I used Home Depot to renovate it. But really, did I have to have
no money down? Just means you don't have to have the cash, but as long as you have the credit or somewhere else you can get it from, that's what makes no money down. Because when usually people say that, it usually comes up, I'm like, all right, now I go look at the deal and be like, so can I have the deal without the money down? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to understand that concept. It's like no money down, but I don't have to have the cash with me.
Correct.
But I need to have the access to credit or somebody's money that I can use there. Okay, got it. Money, can I have money?
How much do you want?
1 million.
There you go. Perfect.
Ask Sadhana. She's a millionaire, not me.
But you know what though? Honestly, Gina, once you change your mindset, like my highest number that I had at one time was 18 properties. So I didn't have the money to buy those 18 properties. And then second time is like people, sometimes I'll get asked, oh my God, 18 properties. And I always say, just remember, it's one deal at a time. Yes, it got to 18, or now, like, I could say I've done over 35 deals, but it was one deal at a time. So don't get caught up with 35 or don't get caught up with 18. Let's just work on one deal. And that's what I say in my course as well. Let's just help you get one deal under your belt, because that's going to give you the confidence that you need to go out and make those deals. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So, it's not like I need to have money. If you ask me, do I have $1 million in my account right now? No, I don't. Do I have millions of dollars in my property? Yes, I do. But that doesn't mean, and I have this discussion many times with people, or some people who are, maybe I'll say not as frugal, and they're like, oh, but you're a millionaire. I'm like, okay, so what do you want me to do? Go break the door on one of the properties and go sell it and eat that? No, it's in the property. I'm not going to go get a second mortgage or a third mortgage or whatever the number may be, just so I can go buy myself a brand new car when my car is working right now. Or I'm going to go and buy myself a Louis Vuitton when I already have one. Right? So sometimes you just have to be cautious, I guess, or frugal, or just be good with your money. Like if you treat money right, the money will treat you better than you will treat the money. But if you use it foolishly, or, however you want to say it, then obviously money's going to treat you the same way. Like I'm very careful with how I respect my money. If I'm just going to, money's going to be like, right?
It's true.
Yes. So that's what I want you to understand. I mean, it's not about how much money you have. It's about how can you utilize what you have in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm. And they say it doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is how much money
you keep
after all expenses.
Yes. And I mean, you don't have to be scared, because I know a lot of people say, oh, you got to stay in your backyard. You got to stay in your backyard. Whatever works, guys. Like this place that I went to, this was about 7 hours away. But then, as Margot said, and I said property manager, right? I don't need to go there. I still have properties there. I have an 8-plex. I have a duplex. I have that one that I just told you, $795,000 one. I still have that home. And I think the last time I was there was maybe 3 years ago. Actually, it was my, I think it was his daughter's wedding, the property manager's daughter's wedding. That was the last time I was there. I don't need to go check it out every time. If there is something wrong, and hopefully there isn't, they'll call me, right?
Perfect.
If anything, just open your mind to possibilities, because seriously, the mindset is more important than the skills, because
that's true.
It is. It is so true. Because I mean, if I was to think back 12 years ago, and if I thought, you know what, who's going to give me a mortgage? I make $50,000. And at that time it used to be like, times 3. Now I think they've raised that up. So, okay, maximum 150. I already have X amount on my house. Who's going to give me a mortgage? And if I already have that in my head, what do you think, what kind of people am I going to find? Are they going to validate what I'm saying, or are they going to challenge what I'm saying? Everybody, like, I truly believe the universe is a mirror of our inside. Like it just reflects back to you what's going inside of you. So in my scenario, if I went out there thinking, oh, I can't do anything, or I can't buy this, or I can't do this, the universe is going to say, you're absolutely right. You can't do this. And if I said, you know what, let me figure out a way, I'm going to do this. And universe is going to say, you're right. I'm going to help you do this.
Absolutely.
Universe is always going to help.
Yeah.
Good or bad, whatever I think, universe is going to help me. So if I say I can't do it, universe is going to say, let me make sure you can't do it. So whatever you go out with is what's going to happen. That's what's going to change.
Yeah. I like really that you also talked about spending 2 years learning first.
That's a fact, because I would not feel like, that, oh my God, I took this course and let me go out there. Oh my God, I went to one real estate meeting and I'm ready to go. No, because I was doing it for my kids' future. I was doing it for myself. How can I risk or put myself at risk, or even my kids at risk? I mean, and that's not to say every transaction I did worked out perfectly. No, not everyone did. But that's okay, because some, how they say, some do, some don't. So what next?
Right. You have to take calculated risk, not just jump in. Because I feel like sometimes, like I've been to a few real estate meetings, and sometimes they want you to run before you walk. And as much as other people are running, I'm like, well, that's not my pace. Like you have to find out what your pace is, because like I bought this property and this property and that property and this property, and I'm like, well, I got no property. Well, not yet anyway, but It's just, you have to take, I always feel like they can't want it more than you want it yourself. When you're ready, you will go.
Right. But you know what? And I'll bring it back to the course again. In my course, what I've done is I've done so many, like, X number of modules. I think there were 7 modules and stuff. And the very first is about mindset, because I want to make sure you have the right relationship with money. I want to make sure that you and money are on the same wavelength, right? And then I'll teach you about, okay, let's say how to find properties. Now, how to talk to mortgage brokers. But then I also give you action steps at the end of that chapter. But if you don't take those action steps and you don't learn from those, what's the point of jumping onto module 2? Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. Because that's usually like what I find is like, you don't find a lot of people that are willing to walk you through the steps of what happens. And it's people already on this level and I'm at that level, but they want you to be at this level, but I need to go from here to there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I need to know what you did to get to that point so that I can walk in your footsteps, as to say, right? But being up here and just jumping in there, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
I would not expect you to, and I don't think that would be a wise thing to do either.
Okay, good. Whew.
Like Margot put it so correctly, picked up on that, I did actually take 2 years before I started going out there and making offers. I was scared. I mean, and if somebody says, oh my God, I just went out there and bought myself 18 properties. Hey, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I haven't put anything out there that I haven't done personally. And same thing in my course. I haven't put anything in the course that I have not done, and I cannot, stand there and tell you exactly what I did.
Okay, I have a question. How do you feel about investing during this COVID time? Like, I mean, buying a property for rent, you're going to rent. Is it a good time of buying? Or I am thinking probably next year, we don't know how economy is going to look like. So my concern is like a property maybe go down next year or go up. That's my concern about investing just now, right? I mean, like now.
Okay. So Grace, I always feel like the 3 basic needs of humans are clothing, shelter, and food.
Sure.
So everybody needs a place to stay. Everybody needs a place to live. So when you buy properties, whether it's today or whether it's 6 years down the road, your goal, and maybe I shouldn't say your goal, my goal always was, can this property give me some cash flow? For instance, that one that I talked about, the one that I got for $5,000, it's rented for almost $800. My expenses on that property are probably about $450, including the mortgage and the taxes and the property management and stuff, right? So that property gives me about $350 every month. So now, whether the property value from 120 goes down to 100, the rent isn't going to go down to 600. It's still going to remain at 790. Does that make sense?
Yes,
so
it does.
You'll be able to ride the wave. But if you're going to buy for appreciation, which I always feel is a gamble, then all the best to you. I'm not teaching that.
Yeah, that's okay. I got it. I got what you mean. I'm taking courses towards being a real estate agent.
Okay.
And I'm almost done. But it doesn't mean I just feel like I can start investing now before even, because my plan was like, okay, then I will be able to buy properties myself and then I don't have to pay for an agent. But I feel like even though I am thinking about that, but if I buy a house, for example, for rent now, the money that I will increase from now to when I'm getting probably my permit, it may be better than the money I can get when I'm an agent buying myself. That's what I'm trying to compare and see what is the best option. That's why I was thinking, like, is this a good time probably to buy, expecting that next year houses are going up?
Okay, so as I said, I think I said during maybe at the beginning, and maybe you were not there, I'm not sure. I don't buy properties for speculation. So I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball to say, you know what, if the property is 100,000 this year, it's going to be 150,000 next year. I don't know that. And I cannot sit here and tell you that, yes, go ahead and buy because the property is going to be up to 150,000 next year. I can't do that. And also you have to understand, whatever you're buying, Grace, is it, first of all, are you going there because you're going to live there? Or are you buying it because you're going to be renting it out? Now, if the rent covers all of your expenses, go for it. If it doesn't, I would ask you think twice.
Yeah, I mean, I have a home. I already bought my home. The property I'm thinking just extra for renting.
But again, if you learn how to analyze the property and stuff, and if you figure out that it's a good investment for you, and if it gives you cash flow, then yes, definitely you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, what I can
Have
add,
I answered your question, Grace?
Yes, I
Good.
think I got an idea what you meant.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
yeah, I just wanted to add is you have to make sure it has a positive cash flow. Doesn't matter what. Yeah.
I knew that Fanny can answer that question too.
So, question for you.
I may answer it for you.
Send me out to buy a house for $5,000 and then so
wait, you were laughing, so I didn't hear. All I heard was that dollar something at the end.
Yeah, I said to send me where to buy $5,000 home, and then we'll be, we'll talk. But
well, hey.
So as far as the money, like you don't need to get your money to put down. But if you have, okay, so for example, I have 2 properties that at this point they're positive cash flow, but the bank has said, that's your max at the moment, unless you go become, you make $400,000. That's ain't gonna happen. Not anyway. My boss won't give me $400,000. How do I then approach investors, or do you teach that?
I do actually.
Okay, so usually, my thing, yeah, the OPM. Like I want to learn how to use other people's money, but be confident enough in what I have to offer, or why you should give me your money, kind of things. So, yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish your question.
So, how do I start that journey? Because the banks at the moment won't give me more.
Okay. So, if you are talking to investors that you feel that they feel that you have a lot of knowledge on the subject, they will gladly share with you their income. I've done it because, like I said, I was learning, and my family is watching when I'm learning. My friends are watching when I'm learning. My co-workers are watching when I'm learning. So when you're learning, people will notice that you're putting in the time and the effort to understand. And now, if I come to you and say, you know what, I found this great property. Would you like to come partner up with me? I will do all the work, and you and I can share the profits. Okay. How many people will believe in you? Do I hear an echo?
Yeah.
Did I do something again, Shish?
You have echo. I don't know why.
This is brand new, so I'm kind of like, so how many people will believe in you at that point, right? That's where you have to understand.
Okay.
So if you get the education, then everybody will believe in you.
I basically need to know what I'm talking about. That's what you said.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Sadhana,
Yes, dear.
from your experience, what is the biggest mistake and newbie should avoid?
Oh my God. I'll tell you the biggest mistake I made. And then I actually did not put any money aside for like big repairs, I'll call it. Because I figured, oh, money's coming in, blah, 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 blah. And I had to replace the boiler on one of the properties. And that was, I think, 11,000 plus tax. It was like almost $13,000. So that I had to dip into my line of credit to get that done. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. Never again. I'm leaving money in there. That was my biggest one. Where does everybody live? I just want to know. Marco, Tina, John, Grace, Jacob, Perlat, Fanny, I know where she lives.
Where do you live, Fanny?
The best city in Ontario, London.
And I'm just down the street.
And I'm in London too. I'm in London as well.
Oh, okay. So everybody's in London. Okay. Perlat?
Yes.
Except Jacob.
I'm in Oshawa.
Okay.
You know Jacob?
I think I do know Jacob. Yes, through PIC.
Yeah.
I don't think my microphone's working, is it?
Yeah, it is. But we cannot see you. Can you put your video on?
Yes, we want to see you. We want to say hi.
Oh yeah, I don't think I don't know what's going on. My camera's not working for some reason. It looks like my
No,
microphone.
that's not true. Look at how many women are here. You got to fix your camera, man.
Turn into something different.
Hey, I'm single, guys. I can say it.
And you're ready to mingle.
Don't make us blush. Sadhana, I wanted to ask you about your course. How long does it take to write?
Oh, it's not, you don't have to write it, honey. It's just something you learn. You can learn it at your own pace. We're also going to have monthly Q&A.
Okay.
It's an online course with modules.
Right. So is it on Kajabi or one of them?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Which platform is it on? Kajabi?
Thinkific.
Oh, Thinkific. Oh, okay.
Yes.
But for you, when you were writing it, like how long did it take you? Was it like a quick process?
It's not something you have to write. Like I said, it's something you learn. You watch the videos and you learn. There's a workbook that goes along with it. And
that part I understand. I meant for your process when you were doing it. I'm not talking about the students' side. I'm talking like for you when you were
like
writing.
how long it took me to put the course together?
Right, yes.
Oh, about 10 months. But don't forget, I've been real estate investing for about 12 years now.
Right.
It took me about 10 months to put it together.
Right, okay.
And I mean, I've done my very best. Honestly, I have poured my heart and soul into it because I just feel, and I actually did a post on Facebook the other day, and I called it my COVID baby. Because everybody was home. What better way to utilize your time than to give back? And right. I think just because I've actually had so many people come up to me and say, how'd you do it? It's like Dinah is amazed that I bought a house for $5,000. I can see it. See?
I just want to buy a house for $5,000. That's all I want. Now it's like that 5,000 that add 5 zeros. That's
but you know what? Maybe once this course is on track, maybe I will do a course on tax sales. How's that?
Okay.
And one
I'll take the first course, and then I'll get the second one.
Perfect. But you know what, though? One of the things I'm going to say, if you guys do register for the 26th, I am going to be doing it at a special price. And you have a lot of bonuses that day, which you will not see again. I promise you that. But I won't give you everything else about it right now.
When you were buying these properties in cities where, like up north and stuff, you would travel to those cities, go and see the houses?
There were times when I did at the very beginning, but after that, no. Like I said, I haven't been there in about 3.5 years now. In the beginning, when you're trying to set your system, yes. But then after that, it's just like, it's like if I was to buy right now in London, Ontario, I would have to be setting up my system, right? So it's the same thing like anything else. Like something that was close enough to my house, I would take care of it myself. But then if it wasn't, then if it's far away, then I would just set up a system for that.
Are you buying a house?
Sadhana, did you teach your boys?
Yes, I actually have. My youngest one just bought his first house.
Oh.
Yes, so I'm very proud. I am so proud of him. And I mean, he's in Seattle. He works with Amazon right now, and he just bought his first house. And my oldest one, he's in the process of thinking what he wants to do and all. So, but I think he will buy something soon enough. When he was waiting for his visa, he had nothing but mom talking in his ear.
Of course.
What do you guys do? Margot, what do you do? Dinah, what do you guys do? I can't see other people, so I don't know.
Well, I'm now retired.
Okay.
Because I think, I'm over 65. And, but I faced a husband. I had a husband who was very ill, and so a lot of the money that we saved and put together went to support dealing with his struggles. And so I find myself in retirement. My basics are covered, but I would like to be in a better position to support my grandchildren as they're young adults. And so real estate has always been something that interested me, but I only ever bought houses for us to live in and fix them up and that kind of stuff. So it's really about being in retirement, and is this a way that I could potentially, focused on the passive income model, could I buy places? And I am from up north. We lived in Kapuskasing and places like that.
Oh, okay.
So I used to take kids to play hockey in Baysville every Sunday.
Oh, wow. So you know exactly where I'm talking about.
Exactly where
the arena was right across from my house.
Oh, really?
I was at 3 Carroll Street. They've changed the name now. So there's the library and then there's the hockey.
Yes. Well, I'm sure I walked past your place because I used to leave the arena just to go for a stretch of the legs, But so I've been reading, just various books and stuff to try and break myself out of my old conservative money management kind of thing.
Right.
And the thing I like best about cash flow is it reminds me not to buy doodads.
Yes, right? Yes. Hi, Perlette. Nice to see you. Jean, you had disappeared. I'm glad you're back. John, is it John? How do you pronounce John, right?
Yeah, it's okay. John, but John, it's in French, but
yes,
in English
I
it's
figured
John.
that much. Okay. Yeah. But no, good way to start is gently put yourself in is by let's even say just learning, seriously, just learning. Books do certain amounts, and then videos do others, and then when you have the support of the Facebook community and you're able to talk to other people as well, as this course will be providing as well, I think it's a good place to be, because now you're supported by all people who want to do the same thing, right?
Absolutely. Sadhana, what does financial freedom mean to you?
I mean, a normal person would say that I don't have to go to work. But for me, I like my work. I actually enjoy my job. So I can't, I mean, my coach always says clerking, play and work together. Like, even though I go to work, but it's still real estate connected. So therefore, I would say probably just be able to go to work if I wanted to. If I didn't want to, it's my choice. Like right now, I'm working because I want to, not because I have to, because the financial freedom does have me covered. Like from real estate, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But again, my financial freedom number may be different than Dinah's because I see small kids there. I'm just picking on you, Dinah, because you're so cute. Because she's like $5,000. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Financial freedom is good when you go to work because you love what you do, not because you worry about putting food on the table or putting a roof on your head.
Right.
That's what we want. Because and I believe that when you have enough money to cover all your expenses, that's where you can even make a difference in your community. That's where you can help other people.
Right. Well, that's the whole idea. So if your basics are covered, and this is one of the things I always talk about, you must know your financial freedom number. So if, for instance, you need to have, I don't know, I'll use a low example, let's say $3,000 a month, and your real estate holdings or any other passive income stuff is bringing you $3,010, you're financially free.
Absolutely.
That you need to have to go to that job to make yourself you don't need to have the job. If you choose to go, if you want to go, that's totally up to you. But you don't have to go because you are going to need that money to put food on the table. So everybody that's here should know what their financial freedom number is, because then at least you can work backwards, right? So just like Margot, you said that you'd like to support your grandkids. What would that support look like? What does that mean? Right? So if you put a number down and let's say, you know what, I'm going to give them, I don't know, a head start by giving them $100 a month. Whatever that, like, I'm just giving you a random example. So I would like for you to figure out what is that support? What does that support look like? So then you have a goal, because without a goal, you're not going to be able to get there, or you won't know you're there. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay, good. Because I wanted, I want to see you guys on this journey with me, because you know what, when I started, honestly, it was just like, I was just attending anything and everything. I did not have any direction. And this is what I thought, like when I was doing my course, or when I thought about putting the course together, I thought if I had somebody who told me structurally, like, okay, do this, and then do this, I probably would have been better at doing this. I didn't even know there was a course out there by Robert Allen, who's the no money down, nothing down queen, or king, whatever we call it. I didn't even know something like that existed. So for me, when I was doing all of this stuff, and when I finally met Robert Allen, I was like, oh my God, I've been doing your stuff without even knowing something like that existed. Now imagine if I knew all of that existed and I learned that. Perla, you're so quiet. Hello? Unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There we go. Now we can hear you. I'm like, you're so quiet. I love your necklace there.
Thank you. No, I said I am learning, because that's not my area. So I am learning. I'm more into procurement. So I deal with evaluating and awarding bids.
Okay.
For construction. So this is all new. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's still real estate related. And you know what? There is nothing better than getting passive income every month coming in. The checks just keep on popping in.
Right, exactly.
And that's the best place to start. So learning is the best place to start. I'm glad you're here.
Right. And you're a great example. So thank you for being a great example to us.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, you know, and this is why I said, had I known or had I had that direction at the beginning, perhaps I would have done it differently. But you know what? Everybody has a why. Everybody knows why they want to do it. It's just like, how strong is your why? Like for me, it was about my kids. I just wanted to put them through university. I didn't want to make them feel that they need to go get a part-time job because their mom can't support them, right? I mean, I have a coworker at the office who 10 years later is still paying her student loans and her kids are starting high school. And to me, that's kind of sad because I feel for her and I see that and I saw that and I'm thinking, okay, now imagine if it was the same for my children, I would feel kind of like crazy about myself.
And I think too, for immigrants, we're used to like our parents making sure we go to school, paying for it. We're not used to having to work, right? You're used to just focusing on studies. And then when you're done, you do whatever else, right?
Right. And that's how I raised my kids. Like I didn't have to go to work when we were, well, I shouldn't say that. Like we went to work because we wanted extra pocket change. Like, you know, I used to deliver newspapers with my brother. Toronto Star, I don't know if anybody remembers, like, you know, they used to have those buggies and we'd go deliver them. Like I'm talking 40 years ago. So we used to go deliver newspapers. I used to work at a gas station part-time on the weekends. I remember when I came to Canada, I even went and worked at the farm for a day because I was like, I can't do this. Better stay in school. What else? In the wintertime when it snowed, me and my brother would take our shovels and just go, because there were a lot of old people where we lived at Bathurst and Shepherd. We'd go shovel their driveways for like $20 each and come home after 5 driveways and we're cool, like, you know. So I know how it is, but you know, as parents, we always want to give our kids better than what we had.
Exactly.
And I was no different. I was honestly no different. And let's see. I mean, you know, they've done good. They're good kids. I don't have to worry about them anymore. I shouldn't even call them kids or babies. They're older.
They will always be your babies. Even when they're 50.
Oh my God, that's a shame. Yes, but you're right. It's like my mom is 70. I shouldn't say her age, but she's in her 70s and I'm in my 50s. And yes, we're her children and always will be. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Always. So does anybody have any other question?
Stéphanie?
Yes.
Ok, j'aimerais bien que tu me résumes quand même ce que vous avez parlé un peu. Je comprends très difficilement l'anglais, tu sais.
Okay, Sadhana, John is new to Canada, so his English level is not that high. So yeah, he wanted me to tell him like resume of what you said.
Say it again.
He wanted to give him to tell him what you said, like what
I said.
Yeah.
About the kid.
Everything, because his English level is not that high, so he didn't catch everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wants me to reiterate what I said?
No, he wants me to say it in French.
Okay.
Yeah. So just give me 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
So John, Sadhana a élevé 3 garçons toute seule.
Oui.
Donc le père n'a pas contribué financièrement, n'a pas aidé du tout. Alors, elle a trouvé un moyen d'investir dans l'immobilier pour pouvoir mettre ses 3 garçons à l'université sans prendre aucune dette. Et maintenant, 2 garçons ont fini l'université, puis il y a un qui est encore à l'université. Et ils ont fini avec 0 dette. C'est grâce à l'investissement à l'immobilier parce qu'elle est secrétaire. Elle ne fait pas beaucoup d'argent. Elle a dit comment est-ce qu'elle a pu faire ça? C'est parce qu'elle a investi dans l'immobilier. Et puis, elle va enseigner, c'est ça le No Money Down Academy. C'est ça son cours qu'elle a commencé pour apprendre aux autres personnes comment investir sans utiliser ton argent.
Ouais.
Ouais, parce qu'ils n'avaient pas d'argent.
Ok.
Ouais.
C'est intéressant, hein?
Ouais, ouais, ouais.
En fait, franchement, j'aimerais bien en détail juste voir réellement comment il a procédé dans ce domaine-là. Comment
Est-ce
il a
que tu comprends un peu quand même quand elle parle, hein?
Pas tellement.
Pas tellement.
Pas
Okay.
mal. Ouais.
Okay. Je vais t'expliquer.
Ouais.
Okay. Yeah. Does anybody else has any other question?
I did see just now that some people put in the chat box that they left. I was also going to say, Fanny, if you wanted to add, you could, for everybody who wants, I can give them a free guide that I've created. It's 10 ways to buy real estate with no money down. So it's the same, the nomoneydownacademy.com/guide.
Perfect.
Okay. So if you wanted to add that in there, or I can do it.
Okay. Yeah, if you can put it, and
yes.
everybody can. John.
Oui, je comprends, oui.
Oui, il faut télécharger ce document. Tu vas le lire petit à petit, je pourrais t'expliquer.
Somebody did it. Oh my God, Jacob, you're faster than me. Thanks, bud.
Oh.
Oui, parce que, en fait, tu vois, sans argent,
I'm like, I'm trying to go like this. He did it. Thank you, Jacob.
Welcome.
Hello?
John, je vais t'appeler après pour t'expliquer un peu plus.
Ah ouais.
Ouais.
Merci beaucoup.
Ouais. Does anybody else have any other question?
Sapna?
Yes, here.
So if I go to No Money Down Academy, would I be able to get all the other information there? Like if we need to get a hold of you or we have other questions after this, we can get a hold of you there, or?
You can send me an email from there, but you can also just send me a friend request on Facebook, and you could also send me on Messenger as well.
Okay, because I want to I want to know about the course, and I know you're going to say probably more on a 26.
You know what? You will get a lot of value out of that as well. But the reason we haven't put the course out, like, you know, that you could just go and buy is because honestly, you'll get a lot more of free bonuses, and it's worth the price it's worth the drive to London.
No, that's okay. What's the price?
You'll find out. Don't you want?
What do you mean? I'll find out on 26. Okay,
but
fine.
Don't you want the special price? If I tell you now, that's the regular price.
Of course. Okay, fine. I'll be there on the 26.
I hope so. With that $5,000.
If you come with a deal that day, that's $5,000 per house. I swear to God, I'll buy.
Listen, I will teach you a lot more about how I made my deals no money down.
Okay.
And also,
I honestly want to know that. Like, I'll be there.
Okay. I look forward to seeing you there. And yes, I do look forward to your questions as well.
Yes, I'll have questions. I gotta run and put these people to sleep.
All right. You have a good night.
Dina, she's also on Facebook.
Yes, I will send her a Facebook request and go from there. Thank you, Fanny, for hosting. You're amazing.
Oh,
when I become financially free, I'll remember you.
Yeah, don't forget. We will be financially free together.
Not financially rich, financial freedom. I will remember you.
That's what we want, financial freedom. Yeah, so on behalf of everybody, Sadhana, I want to thank you so much for inspiring us and sharing with us your experience and your knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And everybody, I wish you a wonderful evening, and
yes,
go make sure you become financial free so you can be a blessing to your community and people you serve.
Yes,
God bless you.
Definitely. You have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.